Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A huge show on Saturday night deserves a huge undercard, and what an array of talent we have up here on the stage. Former world champions, young fighters looking to seek world championship shots, current world champions as well, some of the future stars of the sport. I'm just going to introduce everybody on the table before Adam Smith from Sky Sports asks these guys some questions. Down the end, the thing I love about boxing sometimes is you've got a guy like David Allen up there who was slung right into the deep end against Dillian White and Luis Ortiz. And I thought, in these fights, I'm thinking, you know what, this kid can really fight. I know he's tough, but I think we should give him a chance, we should back him. He's excited, he's a great personality. He boxed last week in Hull with a first round stoppage. And I said, let's go again on Saturday night. Who can we find at this short notice? I looked round, I looked through BoxRec, and I spoke to the matchmaker, I thought, David Howe, that's a good fight. 2 Yorkshiremen, 2 young heavyweights who are really up for it and really want to make the most and have a real terror. Phoned up David Howe, yes please, done. That's how boxing should be, but doesn't really happen that way very often. So David Howe, well done, and a great opportunity for you on Saturday night. Next to him, a young man from Bermondsey actually, as well as some other people on the card, who is really on the way to big things in the sport, we believe. Light middleweight division, 7-0, has a tough fight on Saturday night against Jack Sellers. Going to be kicking off our broadcast on Sky Sports box office. That's Ted Cheeseman. To his right, well, a guy now I think most of you have got to know in the last 48 hours. Some will like him, some will hate him. Probably most will hate him actually over the last 48 hours. He don't care. People are talking about him. And that's the current WBC light welterweight champion, silver, Ohara Davis, is in the house. Thank you, Ohara. Next to him, a guy that needs little introduction, I think one of the finest boxers in world boxing. Hasn't had the most active period, a frustrating period, of course, especially on the Frampton Santa Cruz card, where no fault of his own, didn't end up fighting on that card, and now has the chance to go out and really take some aggression out on young Gargo from Spain on the end. Welcome to him. And that's current IBF featherweight champion Lee Selby. To his right, a young man who I think is a wonderful story and always gives value for money, always gives entertainment, but beyond that, he's now becoming a real force in the welterweight division. Sam Eggington, after a defeat to Bradley Skeet, came back in a great fight against Frankie Gavin, one of the fights of the year last year, now gets an unbelievable chance on Saturday night to defend his WBC international title against Paulie Malignaggi. It's a huge opportunity for him and his career. And of course, welcome as well to Paulie Malignaggi, a guy that's been there, seen it all, got the t-shirt and had huge achievements in the sport. And this is a wonderful fight, a wonderful crossroads fight between Paulie Malignaggi and Sam Eggington that I cannot wait for. Ohara Davis' opponent, Derry Matthews. Talk about someone that's been there and done it. So has Derry Matthews, a fantastic stalwart for Liverpool boxing, someone who has huge support from the city, will have huge support in the arena on Saturday night, moving up to light welterweight, which I think is going to suit him very well. Huge amount of experience, a big puncher, and a great opportunity for him to fight Ohara Davis on Saturday night. Katie Taylor, of course, you just saw her up here to announce the big JD deal. What a pleasure to represent Katie Taylor. You have to be very, very careful of imitations in women's boxing, because not all women fighters are going to make the grade, and it's a ruthless world. Some have the style to do it, some have the ability to do it. In my opinion, Katie Taylor is the most entertaining women fighter in world boxing today. And when she came into our office and I started talking to her, looking at the determination in her eye, I wanted to be part of this journey. Fight number 3 on Saturday night at the O2 Arena, and we can't wait to see Katie Taylor in action. Dave Allen, we've talked about. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious individual. What a personality. But let me tell you, he can fight as well. And I'm really excited to get behind this young man's career and see how far it can take us. Big test for him on Saturday night. And welcome, of course, to Adonis Spargo. Welcome. And looking forward to seeing you in action against Lee Selby on Saturday night. Of course, none of this week would be possible without our exclusive broadcast partner, Sky Sports. The number one, unrivaled. And of course, it's a pleasure to pass over for some questions. The head of boxing, Adam Smith.
Thanks, Eddie. How exciting is this build-up this week and this wonderful card? Some terrific talent up on the top table today. Johnny said to me earlier when Prince Nassim Hamad was in his pomp, every fighter in that Winterbank gym wanted to be on the show. I think that's what's happening now. Everyone wants to be on these big cards. And these are the lucky ones. So let's get straight to them. David Howe, what an opportunity for you at short notice to come down to London and showcase your talent in this Yorkshire derby at heavyweight on a heavyweight night. You must be really excited about it.
Yeah, stoked. I got a phone call yesterday while I was at work. So, what a great down here and hopefully showcase what I've got against a tough opponent in Dave Allen.
Now, what boxing's about, you take the call at work and you're down here and ready for your Saturday night's activities.
Yeah, can't wait. At my level, where I am, I can't give up opportunities like this, so I jump to every both hands.
You know David Allen well, of course.
Yeah, I've followed his career. He's a great guy, a fellow Yorkshireman as well, so it's going to be a nice tear-up on Saturday night.
For those of us who haven't seen a lot of you, tell us about your style, what you're going to bring to the ring.
For a big guy, I'm athletic, I'm fast, got fast hands, so it's going to be an interesting night.
And the dream obviously is to get involved in this ever-expanding heavyweight division. A huge, obviously, main event with HAYE and BELLEW, and something I'm sure you'll be very interested in having a look at when you fall.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the heavyweight scene in Britain at the minute is like at the top. It's Premier League of boxing and the heavyweight game in the world, as far as I'm concerned. So to be honest, to fight on an opportunity on a big show like this is a dream come true.
Good to have you with us, David Allen. Good to have you back so quickly after last week, and you're raring to go, I guess.
Yeah, you know, last week only 31 seconds, and I didn't get the chance to get it all out. You know, I've been raring to go all week. I had a stressful day yesterday, you know, waiting for an opponent, and they said Dave Howe. You know, me and Dave Howe go back a few years. To be fair. I know Dave really well. He's a nice fella and that, but I'm gonna have to knock him out. You know what I mean? It's one of them. Like, I like the fella, but I'm gonna have to knock him out. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like I say, it's a massive show. I only watched last week, but last week was the start. You know, this is the second phase of Operation Rhino. Now we need to kick on. Dave's a good fighter, be a good name on our record. You know, I'm going to go out and do it the same fast as last week, maybe even faster. You know, that is the plan. I'm going out. I'm far hungrier than Dave. You know, Dave's getting to the tail end of his career now. I'm a hungry Rhino right now. And I just can't wait for Saturday night.
Nice to have both some respect. Your old pals, but it's business on Saturday night.
Yeah, you know, I do like Dave. You know, I'm one of the men. I like everybody. I like everyone, but I do like Dave. But it's business, you know, and we'll be respectful now before the fight. I'll shake his hand after the fight. But you know, when the bell rings, I want to be taking that man's head off, and that's as simple as that.
You've obviously not been frightened to get in with anyone, with the likes of Dylan White and obviously Lewis Ortiz, and despite not winning those, do you think that will stand you in good stead? You're still young, you've got so much time ahead of you, and it's all about experience, isn't it, this division?
Yeah, you know, I took them down. I had 10 amateur fights and 10 pro fights, and I went White and Ortiz back to back. So, no offence to Dave, but you know, it doesn't really fill with any fear. You know, last week I went in there, and I never felt so confident in my life. Going from Lewis Ortiz to a plumber, I was buzzing. You know, there was no fear whatsoever. How can you go from Lewis Ortiz to a cruiserweight from Poland with 28 losses? I was buzzing. I thought, I'm going to take this man out in no time, and I took him out. That's exactly what I had to do. And this week, you know, I know what I've got to do Saturday night. I'm going to do it again.
You're a great character. How far do you think you can go in this sport? Obviously, it's a mouth-watering division these days.
I want to become British champion in 2017. That goes without saying, but I don't know where I'm going to get to. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. But it's going to be a fun ride, and that's one thing I can promise.
We're delighted to have you with us. Good luck both days on Saturday night. Kicking off the Sky Sports box office output at 6 o'clock, or just after, will be a man I'm very excited about, in Ted Cheeseman from Bermondsey. Ted, unbeaten so far as a pro. Everything going according to plan?
Yeah, everything's going according to plan. I'm learning in the gym all the time. I'm starting to fight more experienced and more better opponents, and hopefully on Saturday night I'll do the business again and push on, hopefully start fighting some titles.
Saw the pads last night with Kevin Mitchell, not a bad man to have around Tony Sims. You've got a good team, and you think that will help take you, you know, where you want to go this year and onwards?
Yeah, I'm working with a very experienced team, and there's a lot of good fighters in the gym. You've got Ricky Burns, who's a world champion, 3 weight world champion. So we're getting good sparring at all different weights. So I'm learning all the time and improving every day. So this year's going to be a big year for me, and I can't wait to start off Saturday.
Yeah, you look good at Wembley, the back end of the year. You've now got Jack Sellers unbeaten as well. So a little test for you Saturday night, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because better than boxing a journeyman. I'm stepping up, I'm pushing on, the brand's getting longer. Now, hopefully on Saturday I can go and prove that I'm a level above his opponents and take Jack Sellers out and before the distance and push on.
And of course, you're a local boy, Bermondsey boy. A few tickets have been sold, no doubt?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a massive support from Bermondsey and South London on Saturday because David A is very popular, so it's going to be big to get a big bit of publicity, and especially getting my first fight live on Sky. I'm going to get a lot of publicity from this fight, so hopefully I'll put on a career best performance and push on.
Kick off the show in style. We wish you well, Ted. That'll be a good one with Jack Sellers. Then we welcome back Lee Selby, who's in with Andoni Gargo. Let's welcome you as well. Nice to see you. Are you looking forward to the big opportunity on Saturday night on this huge show?
Yo quiero dar las gracias a Selby y a su promotora por darme esta oportunidad. La verdad que he wants to thank Lee Selby and Eddie Harm for this opportunity to be here fighting against a good fighter, a nice fighter, a great fighter like Lee Selby in a great show like this. Y bueno, venimos con ganas de dar guerra y hacer buena pelea. He's willing to bring a good show here in the UK for all the attendance and the TV, and he hopes to do so and pull the great upset.
Has he seen a good deal of Lee Selby and what Selby brings to the table?
Tiene unas cualidades impresionantes de campeón del mundo, no tiene una izquierda muy buena, tiene un sentido de la distancia y unas piernas también perfectas, ¿no? Él ha conseguido ser campeón del mundo. He has very good skills. He's a world champion, obviously. He has a good left hand, a nice sense of distance. He moves very well around the ring. He respects him a lot. Y intentaremos hacer nuestra pelea y no dejarle respirar. He's not going to leave him breath around the ring, so he's going to give him the pressure into the ring.
We look forward to it. Thanks very much, and we welcome back Lee Selby. I was saying to him the other day, I think last time I saw you was in Vegas, when you just got that news 45 minutes or so before you were meant to defend your world title. It's tough, isn't it, this business, when you get knockbacks like that. You've trained for 12 weeks, you can't defend your title on a huge show. How have you come to terms with that? And I bet you really just want to get back into the ring after so long out.
I was very... This microphone? Yeah. I was very disappointed, obviously, when the fight fell through. But I just had to stay professional. I was back in the gym Monday, trained. We drove down to Los Angeles. I sparred there, took a little bit of my frustration out on my sparring partner. And then luckily the fight was, a fight was rescheduled for me to box now on Saturday night. So I had a new goal to focus on. I put the upset behind me.
You need to get back into the ring, don't you? I mean, it's been a while since you've been here, and obviously there's huge fights out there for you in the featherweight division, but you've got to take care of this guy first Saturday night.
I last boxed, I think it was April the 4th, at the O2. This is going to be my 5th fight here. All fights have been like the highlights of my career, boxing at the O2. I won the Lonsdale belt outright. I put on a clinic against Joe Brunker to win a final eliminator to box for the world title. And of course I won the world title against Evgeny Radovich. And then I was back here April and I beat Eric Hunter. So now this is my 5th time at the O2. And I'm looking to top all those wins and put on a masterclass Saturday night.
A masterclass, you looking for rounds or to make a statement as you try and secure those huge fights that I know that you want but just haven't been delivered yet?
You hear fighters say, no, I need the rounds. But that'd be a bit disrespectful to a Johnny Gargo saying I need rounds, just like I'm taking it for granted, which I'm not. But of course, after this fight, I'm looking to be boxing in a big unification fight or a world title defence. So ideally, I would like some ring time. But if I catch him, you got to go.
Just can't afford to slip up Saturday night.
This is boxing. Anything can happen in boxing. He could catch me with a punch. He could cut me. He wins the fight. So you can't take nothing for granted. I've took this fight as serious as any fight I've took. Any fight I've took part in. I've trained like I'm defending my world title.
Finally, how big and important to you to be back on this sort of stage? You love it, don't you?
It's massive. I'll be fighting in front of thousands of people now. There'll be millions across the world watching it. I just love it. That's when I boxed at my best.
Really good to have you back, Lee Selby. Also great to have on the bill in her third professional fight, Katie Taylor. Eddie's already spoken about how good she is. I second that. I thought her professional debut in November was one of the best I've seen from any fighter at any time throughout many years. Katie, fight number 3, you had your second in Manchester. How much are you looking forward to getting back into the ring, and what are we going to see this year from you?
Yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to it. This, as I said before, I feel like I'm saying the same things over again, but this is the first time I've had a proper training camp behind me, so I can't wait to get in there on Saturday night and showcase that. Against a really tough opponent as well, so this I hope is going to be the start of a big, big year for me.
How's training gone out in the States?
Yeah, it's gone great. I was in the States for the last 2 months, and we've been working on so many different things. I feel like I've gotten a lot stronger, and I'm punching a lot harder, so I definitely feel like I have the ability now to actually hurt these opponents as well. So I'm looking forward to getting in there and hopefully putting on a great performance.
Obviously a starting amateur. How have you felt that transition into the professional ranks over the 2 fights you've had so far?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a very, very exciting few months for me. But yeah, this is obviously a new journey for me. There's still a few things I need to learn in the pro game. I'm still obviously a novice in the pro game. I'm learning every single day in the gym. And out in the States, I've gotten some super sparring out there as well with top season pros. So I'm learning all the time. And yeah, I can't wait to get in there and start the evening.
How quickly do you and Brian Peters and the team want to move this year? Obviously, all about experience, getting onto those big shows. But you know, when are you targeting a world title at some stage?
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate goal. Really, I think I'll leave that up to the likes of Eddie and my team to do their job. But I'm just getting into the ring each time and hopefully putting on a great performance. And we're hoping at this stage that every fight is a big step up, is a bit of a progression for me, and I definitely need to get the rounds under my belt, and I need to get the experience as well, especially if I'm going into a world's title fight over 10 rounds. I need tough challenges in the front to actually to prepare for that. So, but yeah, training has gone great, and I definitely feel like I have the ability to win world titles this year.
Finally, the spotlight on women's boxing. Clarissa Shields turns pro, Nicola Adams following suit, yourself. It's great times, isn't it?
It's a very exciting time for women's boxing, and seeing Clarissa, top of bills in a couple of weeks as well. It's absolutely incredible. The bar is already, I think, being raised in women's professional boxing over these last few months, and it's a great time to be involved in the sport.
Wish you well Saturday night, Katie, alongside Katie, a man we've known for many years. I think he was the ABA bantamweight champion back in 2002. That seems a long, long time ago. Derry Matthews, what a warrior, what a terrific advocate he's been for boxing over the years. In with the young gun in Ohara Davies. It's a match I know many of you are very, very excited about. Derry, you're taking yourself away. You've been to America, I know, to Scotland. This is a big one for you, isn't it? Obviously, after the defeat to Luke Campbell.
Yeah, it's for the Luke Campbell fight. I stayed alone. I'm always in top shape. I'm a personal trainer, so I was in the best condition I could have got in. But little things needed changing. Sparring needed changing, and the lifestyle going away. Locked myself away from my wife, who's pregnant, heavily pregnant at the moment. So I spent 8 weeks away, out in LA, back out in Scotland with the likes of Jamie Conlon, Paddy Barnes, Tyrone McKenna, all pushing each other, all helping each other, train hard, and it just benefited me. I was out at the Rock Gym, sparring Oscar Valdez, the likes of them, all world champions, being around world champions, success beats success, and that's what we needed. And then I went down a wild card, Freddie Roach's gym for a bit, and then flew back to sunny Scotland. So it was good, I enjoyed it, and it's more of what it needs to be done.
How are you feeling at the new weight?
I feel a different man, if I'm honest. This fight week usually, I'm usually not talking to anyone, usually miserable. Don't answer my phone to anyone, but this week I'm happy. I can go and do the weigh-in now if I have to, and I'm ready to, you know, to prove that I'm a 140 fighter. I think I'm massive anyway, at 135 and at 140. I think it'll benefit me. Even taking a shot. I mean, I got it by some great shots by Luke Campbell, and as I'm getting older, you need to move on in weights, and I've seen people struggle over the years, being bound fighters who struggle over the years, and it's caught up with them, but I know moving up to 140 is going to benefit me, and I just feel like a new man. And on Saturday, when I win, believe me, I'm going to win. When I do win, you know, my career goes on.
You had 51 fights. Why is this one so important to you? You know, after the fight with Luke Campbell, people thinking, you know, we're going to see Derry Matthews again. But you seem to have got the bit between your teeth. Is it because of what Ohara Davies has been saying, or is it because you've got to look after yourself and your family?
Not just that. I mean, I'm from the council estate in Liverpool, and I'm a fighter. But then when someone starts abusing you on social media and giving you a bit of stick, but I know he didn't want the fight. And he thought I was going to stay at 135. He was saying, oh, he'll do this, he'll do that. I said, fair enough, I'll come to London, I'll move up to 140 and I'll fight you. And the fight happened, and I know he didn't want the fight, but he took a big hole for himself, and now he's got to get out of it.
Is there a real grudge from your side?
I just don't like the person, don't like him. And on Saturday night, he's going to get the shock of his life, and I think the team around him know that. He's in deep too.
Ohara Davies, are you going to get the shock of your life? Unbeaten in 14. Let's hear from you and your opinion on what Derry just said.
You know, we all know that Derry doesn't like me. I've been giving him a lot of stick on social media, and that's what boxing's about. Boxing's about excitement, entertaining. It's about us as athletes being unpredictable. That's what the fans like, and that's what they all want to see. You know, anytime that I get on a mic, they're thinking, I wonder what Ohara's going to say now. They're always looking forward to hear me talk, because they know that I'm unpredictable. I bring excitement and I bring entertainment. My last fight, Scarpa, I feel like he didn't bring the best out of me. You know, and then all the fans wanted to see me lose. You know, they all want to see me get beaten. You know, they all want to see me in a real fight. So, you know, I said, who do I believe can bring the best out of me and has a good chance of actually getting a win? And Derry Matthews is a man that we chose. So, you know, Saturday night, we're going to get on.
You certainly said a few things in Liverpool. Purposeful or anything you regret there?
I don't regret anything that I say. You know, everything that I've ever done in my life is what's made me who I am. Everything that I've done, all the fights I've had, everything that I've ever done in my boxing career is what's it's what's got me on this big stage that I'm at now. So I don't regret anything that I've said, anything that I've ever done. You know, I just take each day as it comes. You live and you learn, but no regrets.
I know you've worked very, very hard for Derry Matthews. Sparring's been good. You feel on top of the world. I think the question that everybody wants to find out is, how good are you?
Yeah, everyone's you know, everyone wants to know how good I am. Some people think I'm overrated. Some people think I'm underrated. This is why getting an experienced opponent like Derry Matthews was so important. Now everyone gets to see how good I actually am, and I just hope that Derry Matthews comes and he brings his A game. And he'll bring the best out of me, but I'm ready to show the world what I can do. Training camp's been great, it's been perfect, it's been a long camp. I'm glad that we're coming to the end of camp now, because you know, having a long camp, it does affect you mentally, it does affect you, it takes a lot out of you. And you know, I've got through camp, I've done everything I was told to do, sparred all the rounds, done all the runs, you know, I went to bed when I was meant to go to bed. I've done everything right, I've dieted right, so only one thing left to do now, and that's just showcase my skills. All the talking's been done, you know, the talking's been done, the fans have got their buzz, you know, I've spoken enough, the fight's been hyped up, everyone's going to be looking forward to seeing this fight, they're all going to tune in to come and watch us fight, so just let's put on a good show on Saturday night.
Derry, how good do you think Ohara Davies is, and how do you become the first man to beat him?
Listen, I respect every fighter, not as a person but as a fighter. He's a good fighter, he's got a big jab, long right hand. He's a novice, but it works for him. If you know what I mean, it's like he's a novice fighter and he can make people look terrible. So one Saturday, I've just got to go and do what I've got to do, what Danny Vaughan's been learning me in the gym, the programme we've been working on, the strategy, and just do what I do. And I believe that, you know, I can beat him. Whether I box southpaw, whether I box orthodox, I know I can beat him. As far as I'm concerned, I've won everything possibly can as a junior, as a schoolboy, as a senior, as an amateur boxer. I mean, he hasn't had much of an amateur background. I went to the best amateur club in the world. In my eyes, the Selby, and I've got what it takes to beat him in any department. Whether he wants a fight, I'll have a fight with him because I believe I punch harder on him. If he wants a box, I'll give him a boxing lesson. So he can have it whatever way he wants it, but he's getting it on Saturday.
Final prediction?
To be honest, like I said in the press conference in Liverpool, I want to punish him for 12 rounds. I want to really punish him for 12 rounds and get the win. And then 10 seconds to go, make him quit.
Ohara, final thoughts?
My final thoughts is my boxing IQ is a bit too much. It's not about your speed or your power, it's about how smart you are as a fighter, how sharp your mind is. I've got a very sharp mind. I can read my opponents can't read me. Every fight, I'm a different fighter, every single fight. And, you know, I work him out in the first 5 or 10 seconds of the fight. So unless you're knocking me out in the first 5 or 10 seconds of the fight, I've got you. You know, in all my 14 fights, I've never lost a single round in my boxing.
Because you've boxed no one. You haven't boxed anyone who's come to win.
I've never lost a single round in my boxing career. And
never boxed anyone who's come to win, so you're not going to lose a round.
I've never lost a single round in my boxing career. And on Saturday night, that's how I want it to stay. And my prediction is, I don't know, it just depends on what Derry Matthews turns up, you know. It just depends on what Derry Matthews turns up. I'll work him out in the first 5 or 10 seconds of the fight, and we'll take it from there.
Thanks, Ohara. Thanks, Derry. I really can't wait for that one. Sam Eggington smiling, just a couple of along. He's a very different character, wonderful throwback, and what a great fight he had with Frankie Gavin. Momentum again with you, Sam. It's a really interesting one you have here with Paulie Malignaggi, who we all know has been there, seen it, done it. Two-weight world champion, of course. Is it a fight that you were really excited about when you were told?
Yeah, like I say, after the Gavin fight, you know, we was on a crest of a wave, and you know, we was hoping for a big fight straight after it, and you know, Barry and Eddie between them have sorted a big fight out, Paulie Malignaggi, and I'm over the moon to get on such a big stage, to land on a pay-per-view card, chief support. You know, he's brilliant. So yeah, I was over the moon with the fight.
You're still young. I'm still only 23, and you seem to have been around the last 3 or 4 years, really progressing in the sport. How much did the Frankie Gavin fight lift you? Obviously, a big rivalry around the city, and afterwards, the sort of weeks that went by, you must have been really on top of the world.
Yeah, like I say, I was over the moon with the Gavin fight. Everything we thought would happen, you know, we planned, you know, it sort of all come off. So, like I say, straight after the fight, we spoke, and we wanted a big fight after that fight, you know, after that big win. And like I say, this is the perfect fight.
Bradley Skeet's skills, Frankie Gavin's skills, obviously gave you plenty to think about. What about Paulie Malignaggi? I mean, they don't get much more skillful than that, even at this stage in his career.
No, like I said, I've said to everyone, look, you can't think too much into Malignaggi's age. You know, how many times he's boxed this year or whatever. Because you know, at the level he's been boxing at for the last few years, he could turn up with, you know, some of that I didn't expect. So, you know, we've just gone after the best Paulie Malignaggi. We've trained hard. I've done what I've been asked, and you know, we'll go from there on Saturday night, and we'll go round by round, and you know what the coach is telling me to do in the corner. You know, I'll pull off to the best of my ability.
Do you think you'll be too tough, too fresh, too strong, too ambitious?
You know, we'll see on Saturday night. You know, here's hoping, but we'll see on Saturday night. Like I say, I've done everything I can. You know, the team said, you know, they couldn't ask for more out of me in the gym. You know, I've done everything I can. You know, and I'm confident. No doubt on Saturday night, I'm more than confident that I'll do it. I'll come away with, you know, a big win. But like everyone else has said on the table, this is boxing. So You never know.
You're ready to go. What about being on this platform as well?
Yeah, like I said yesterday, I'm more than ready to go, and I've got to thank Barry and Eddie for getting, because there's a few fight dates being talked about, and like I say, to land the chief support on a pay-per-view card like this, I can't thank them enough, and I'm more than ready to go, weigh in and get ready for fight night. I'm happy to be here, no doubt.
Thanks, Sam. Let's finish with the man who can talk for America, Britain. He's normally alongside me with a mic in his hand. He's got a mic here, but he's still got a career ahead and a big fight against Sam Eggington. Why did you pick Sam, or Sam pick you? Why is this the move that you want, Paulie? And how will you perform on Saturday?
Well, it's kind of something that fell into my lap. I was in negotiations to fight for the EBU title, and when we had gotten all the permits set to fight Seferino Rodriguez on March 4th in New York, WBC was going to make an exception to have the EBU title in the States, as long as the European officials were in, the European supervisors. So we did all the work, went through all of that, and then only to be told, okay, everything is set by Rodriguez team that, hey, you know what, our guy is not ready. He's not going to be ready until April and May. So I thought they were just, what do you guys say, taking the piss? I thought they were taking the piss with me, and so I was kind of angry, as I was already starting to train in the gym and whatnot. And I had remembered David Hay had told me maybe a couple weeks before, hey, what do you think of fighting on the March 4th bill with me and Bellew? And I thought it was just talk, I thought it was, yeah, no problem. But I knew in my mind I was already negotiating for the fight in New York. But I was like, yeah, I'll keep an open mind. And, after I got the call with Rodriguez not being ready, I didn't even think about Hay in the moment. I remember it was during the day, and I said, man, now I'm going to take a couple of days off from the gym and just relax, because, I probably got to wait until April or May. And then I got a text message from David Hay literally that same night, later that day, and he said, hey, I think we can make the fight. I've been talking to Eddie and whatnot, so, we worked everything out, and so, I've got to thank David Hay and Haymaker Ringstar, and I've got to thank Eddie Hearn and Matchroom for really making it happen, and obviously Al Heyman, my main advisor on my team, was always working diligently and hard for me, without everyone's help involved, I would have been able to get on this card, and it's cool. I'm very appreciative. I've said before, early in my career, I look at big cards like this, and I always looked at myself as, I belong here. It's nothing special. You almost don't enjoy the moment. You almost don't enjoy the ride, because you're on the wave, and you're so in the moment, you're not enjoying the ride. But now, as I get these opportunities, and I look around, and I say, wow, I blink, I'm 36, and I say, man, you know what? I really got to take a stop for a second, really appreciate all this, and appreciate everything going on around me. And especially, there's no better place in the world to fight than the UK, on a matchroom card, no less. I really say that with all truthfulness. There's cards in the UK, and then there's matchroom cards. These cards are something out of the ordinary. Something crazy special. And to be able to be a part of it, and then the co-main event against a fighter that a lot of people are high on here in the UK. I understand that Sam Eggington is a home fighter, and I understand he'll probably have the crowd backing him. But for me, it's more about the energy of the crowd and the fact that the crowd is involved, and no crowd gets involved better than does a UK crowd, and that's kind of the fun part about performing in front of these kind of fans.
Paulie, you normally spend your time analysing other fights, so how have you analysed Sam Eggington? What are his strengths? What does he bring to the table, and how do you overcome them on Saturday?
I don't want to be over-analytical, so I try not to overthink, because sometimes you psych yourself out thinking. But I think Sam is a durable, workman-like kind of fighter, who's steadily improving. I saw a couple of videos. I saw the Ski fight, and then I saw the Gavin fight, and I distinctly saw a couple of adjustments that were made, and you got to give him credit, because if this is a kid that really started boxing 4 years ago, that means he started boxing when I was a world champion. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of progress he's made in 4 years, and frankly, under normal circumstances, I would think, wow, they're rushing this guy. He just put on a pair of boxing gloves the first time 4 years ago, and now he's moving on to this level. There's no need to rush him at 23 years old, but he's shown he's durable, and he's shown he's the goods. He got a solid result in his last fight with Frankie Gavin. I think that certainly surprised some people, and it certainly got a lot of people's attention. And so, at that point, you have to kind of ride the momentum. You can't go backwards. That's the thing about stepping up. When you step up and you win, you can no longer go backwards. So they took the chance, they stepped up, they won. So So now they've got to kind of keep moving up. So I totally get it. I totally understand it. And I know the kind of fight I'm dealing with. Obviously, I've seen pretty much everything at this point in my career, so it's not like I'm in for any surprises. But at the same time, you know, you do have to work and put in the solid work behind the solid game planning you have and execute the game plan.
Yeah, you've been in with the big names, obviously, Cotto and Khan and Hatton and Garcia and Porter and Broner, everybody really in the sport. You've won your last 3 at a lower level. How long do you want to do this for?
I don't know. I take it one fight at a time. I just enjoy it as it comes along. As I said before, you know, sometimes I wasn't enjoying it before. You know, I was so in the moment, just feeling like I belonged among the elite, and just, you know, looking at what do I want to do, what am I going to do. And now it's more like I've slowed things down around me, and I say, you know what, enjoy every single moment, you know, and then look at afterwards. When you get to afterwards, there's no need to rush and look at afterwards until you get there, right? I mean, there's really no need to look ahead until you get there. You know, when you're young, you're always in a rush for some reason. You don't realize that, you know, you actually have time. So you know, I'm not really looking at what the long-term goal is. I'm looking at Saturday night, execute my game plan, execute a fine strategy that we've put in place with me and my coach Luis Perez, Orlando Carrasquillo. You know, put us in execute a fine game plan, and hope to really put on a good performance, a magnificent performance in front of you know, my favorite fans in the world.
Fantastic to have you with us, Paulie. What a great lineup on Saturday night.
Thank you, Adam, and thanks to everyone at the table here. Can't wait for this undercard on Saturday night. Best of luck to all of you. Go out and do your thing and make a name for yourself again, or for the first time. And we're going to have photos up here now before the main event presser, and a couple of heads-to-heads as well. Thank you very much. Good luck, Saturday.